There are two ways of creating a new lead within Lead Perfection. Most of the time, a customer will be calling up and telling you exactly what they want to quote on. So what we do is that we hover over prospects and we go to search. Let's make sure this client's not already in the system. He says his name is Tom Testing and that he would like a quote on concrete. So a tip here would always be to capitalize the last name, just in case it's not in the system and you don't have to edit again. You click down on Go, and as you can see, he's not in there. So what you do is click on Add New Prospect. So now let's add Mr. Testing's information. You'll ask him if anyone else will be joining him for the quote, if he's the only homeowner. So what you would do is you click on this little plus mark, and it'll bring down a secondary contact. Let's add Tom's wife. And then over here, let's put on how they know each other. It's the spouse. Let's just type in the information. And once you type in the street, you can go over to the zip code. And we know it's 93550, which is Palmdale, and it'll populate that information for you. Now let's not forget about the email and also the primary phone number. Down here on directions, you can put any notes that you might find pertinent that you want to read right away. This is just an example, but a lot of times we put pertinent information right here. So after we click all that in, type all that in, we go over here to the blue mark. That saves the information. And as you can see, everything we just typed in is right there. So Mr. Testing is also he's going to be telling you what he would like. And while he's talking, you just ask him a couple more questions about his property. You click over on the property tab on the left, 2 down from general, and you click this little blue mark up here, this little pencil, and that puts it into editing mode. So you ask him, Mr. Testing, are you part of an HOA? Yes, he is. He's not a dog owner. And you don't ask him this information down here. This is just a good guess that you make. This is good for our marketing department. So down here you'll see the fire zone and permitting jurisdiction. These two are very, very important because some products can't be sold in a fire zone, and also our permits come from different places and they're different amounts, so this is very important. So you'll have links for these two websites where you just simply type in the address and it'll tell you the information, yes or no. So they're not in a fire zone and they are part of the city. Alright, so we have all that in, we hit the blue mark. That saves us all our information. So now, we go back to general. Let's add the lead appointment info. Right here under the information we just typed, we click on this blue arrow. Okay, so now it will bring us to this screen, and it's going to pop up like this, and what you do is you click this little arrow here. Now this puts it into editing mode. So now let's type in all the things that he would like. Mr. Testing would like some concrete. Click on hardscape. And he's also interested in a patio cover. Mr. Testing says that he would like a in-home quote. And then you always ask them, how did you hear about us? Oh, it was on your website, or I got your information, Mr. Testing says. Alright, so that is all filled in. We leave the sales rep and the promoter empty unless there's a promoter, at our fairs or anything like that. On the right side, we type in some more information. So we ask Mr. Testing, Mr. Testing, I'm going to take out the calendar. Would you be available? So what you do is you click on the little magnifying glass, which brings up forward look. Now the green means that there's an open appointment, the red means that all the appointments are filled, and if there is a minus signs, that means that we are overbooked for that day. So we always do it for the next day, never the same day unless one of the salesmen says that they're available. So we ask them, hey, Mr. Testing, are you available 10, 12, 3, or 6? And usually they'll fall into this pattern that they're okay with these times. He says he's available at 6 o'clock. So this will pop up, yes. Are you sure 6 o'clock? And then after you select that, hit empty. See how this populates it for you right there? So our appointments are 2 hours. And this is very important down here, where this current disposition, you have to put that you're the one who set the appointment. So you click on set, and then me, and your name will pop up there. So, Mr. Testing is going to be telling you all the things that he wants, and you can fill as many notes as you can in this box. For right now, we'll put a short little note, but when you're filling this out, any and everything that you can put here is greatly appreciated. Alright, so that is filled in. So now during the conversation, we always ask them, hey, Mr. Testing, can you send over a couple pictures of your yard? It really helps. And usually they'll say yes, and they'll text them to the main number, and then this is how we let the salesman know that there are pictures or not. So pictures, yes. Click the blue. So now that we filled out all the information that we'll need at this point, we click the little blue arrow. Alright, so now probably the most important thing to do, now that we've created the lead, we need to issue the lead. So all we simply do is click on issue, and it's issued. Now the sales manager will be able to allocate this lead to the proper person. And so now that lead is all set up. So the last thing that we need to do is go over back. So after you click out of that, is come back over to the left and we hit calls. You click on the little plus sign. This lets us know that you spoke to them on the phone or however that we spoke to them, and makes a record that we did so. So this is the number that they called us from. It was an inbound call, so we put in inbound, call result, so we set an appointment. Easy as that. And we have other options for whatever happens, because there's a lot of outbound calls, inbound calls, there's plenty of options. And if there's an option that you see that is missing, please contact the IT department. Alright. Now just a quick overview of the other things on this list. So if you click on callbacks, if you speak to somebody like, hey, I'm not around right now, can you give me a call back in 20 minutes? This is how you do it in the callback section. This will be another video, but I want to quickly run down. To do is if there's some, something to do from other people and other departments. I could set this for somebody else that the pictures need to be submitted, or if this any job forms need to be signed or delivered. This is how we would assign it to different employees. Nearby is a option to see which other appointments are nearby. This helps for the setting of the schedule and also the logistics. If the customer buys, if they create if Mr. Testing buys the job, it'll be under here under sales, with the sales information. Notes is just information that you can fill in as much as you like here. To do that, you click the little blue arrow. This adds some notes. Emails, there's going to be a bunch of email templates to send the customer, and this is where you do that from. And over here is documents, which is something we use all the time. Whenever that they have a picture that they send or text to you, all you have to do is upload it here. Oftentimes it's before pictures. Before pictures, you set the date. Alright. So now we are complete. Everything is set up for this person to have their quote. And we are good to go. Thank you.